The ancient doors slowly creak open, bits of stone raining against the floor as they part, revealing a long, dark hallway. It descends downwards along a stone set of stairs. You can't see the bottom.
I have dark vision.
We're not using dark vision rules, and even if we were, halflings don't have dark vision. I didn't go in the room yet.
Okay, I'm gonna draw my sword and say in character, stay behind me, everyone. This place doesn't look very inviting.
I asked if there was anything on the stone guardian. Bonnie steps before the rest of the party, blade in hand, as he stares down into the depths of the ancient dungeon. Make a perception check.
14.
You're proficient with perception.
Oh yeah, that's 17.
And I cast guidance on you. Add an extra d4 to that.
What's that?
I still haven't been told what.
It's the dice with 4 sides.
It looks like a triangle.
Okay. 19.
Along the staircase, you catch glints of metal reflecting off of the sunlight outside. Old traps line the steps leading downwards into the dungeon. You'd best watch your step. I step forward and cast the light spell on my drum, singing a small chant to the party. Be not afraid of the dark, I will carry on our spark.
I also want to light one of my torches using my tinder box.
The torchlight and the light from the drum cast a brilliant glow on the old stone walls of this ancient dungeon. You can see old proximity mines lining the floors.
I used to be a soldier in the Dragon Wars. I've seen these traps before. Don't get too close, and we'll be fine.
A little odd that our rogue friend didn't feel the need to chime in with his own remark.
I think he's still at the entrance.
Does the golem have anything on him? You find a gold coin lodged in its inorganic heart. Thank you. Kaden extracts the glinting golden coin from the now lifeless pile of rubble before rejoining the party. Together, the 5 of you descend into the dungeon, carefully stepping around the plethora of traps lying before you. At the bottom of the steps, you are met with a large stone door with no visible handle.
I lockpick it.
There's no handle! Can I try punching the door?
Wait, let me look at the door. I think I see a symbol on it.
You recognize the symbol of the god Kelemvor, deity of the dead. Below it is a word inscribed in abyssal.
Pestilence.
Upon speaking the phrase, the symbol glows green, and the door slowly shifts to the side. However, as it does, you hear the sound of bones clattering around you. Skeletons are beginning to animate together into fully knit bodies, clutching old rusty weapons in their frail hands as they regard you with murderous intent.
An ambush! Everyone, get ready!
Initiative is rolled. It would seem Kaden is the fastest out of everyone. I hide.
What? You're just gonna hide? I'll have you know that if you abandon us in battle, I will haunt you with a vengeance.
I'm going to slip into the shadows. My turn is over.
What? Don't end your turn. You could just hide as a bonus action using your cunning action.
Oh. Oh. Next. Bonnie is the next to follow up after Kaden's opening.
My blade be true. Give me a performance worthy of being painted for the ages.
2 quick strikes. Bonnie is quite proficient with his blade, which makes short work of the shoddy old skeleton. But just as quickly, another of the skeletons slips an arrow into his bow, aiming it at you.
Watch out!
The marksman aims true. The blow will surely be painful if it connects. Not on my watch.
You couldn't hit the left side of a barn while you were still drawing breath, let alone as a pile of tendonless bones.
The cutting words sap the skeleton's confidence, turning his perfectly lined up shot into a whiff. You're safe from the attack. And now is your perfect chance to counterattack.
Mess him up.
The emblem on your shield glows with radiant power. Hoisting your shield up high, you channel the righteous power within you and command the undead to grovel before you. One of them remains standing, but the other with the bow falls onto its knees, ushered on by your inexorable presence. Then that's my cue to weaken the other one.
Hey, skeleton, with the sword? Do your ears still work? I don't think they do, because you don't seem to be aware just how horribly your comrades are turning into dust. And you'll be next.
The skeleton seems unfazed by your vicious mockery of him. Drat. Maybe I should try saying something more hurtful. The skeleton raises his rusty old sword high and swings at Bonnie. Bonnie's armor absorbs the first strike, but the second one leaves a wound on his side.
That's okay. My fighting spirit will carry me through this wound. Alright, that's it. I'm gonna unleash Ember on that fool.
Are you using one of your spells?
Eldritch Blast!
Yeah, that seems about right. The form of the pleasure demon manifests behind Mitch for the briefest of moments, guiding his aim. 2 streaks of eldritch energy shoot from his hand, connecting with the skeleton wielding the rusty sword. The first blast seems to rock the skeleton fiercely, but the second doesn't seem as effective.
I got an 8 and a 2.
Don't say that in character, you're taking us out of the moment.
Oh, avast, dang nabbit! This odd creature doth remain unshaken amidst the exalted barrage of benevolent magics I have bequeathed to him.
Feels bad, buddy. A moment of silence falls on the battlefield as all combatants remain locked in place, unsure of who will make the next move. Kaden, it's your turn, huh? Oh, right. From out of the shadows, Kaden emerges, having been but a slight distraction from the side until now. Brandishing his knife, Kaden makes short work of the skeleton groveling on his knees. Sneak attack.
Nice! Now say something cool in character!
Why would I say something cool? An assassin doesn't just drop a one-liner after a kill, we focus on getting the hell out of there.
Kaden, please, it's not about what's realistic, it's about having fun.
But it's what my character would do. Trust me, Kaden, don't play realistically, just have fun with it. It's a fantasy game. Do what you want. Okay. You're dead.
Blunt? I guess that'll do.
The last skeleton is falling to pieces already. He can barely stand as Bonnie readies his blade.
I'll make this quick.
2 quick flashes of the blade. The final skeleton crumbles into pieces on the ground. The door is now open for you to continue exploring. I loot the skeleton. You find an old rusty sword and a pack of old arrows. Sure, I'll take the sword. It might break after a few uses, you'd better be careful with that.
Now, let's see what was on the other side of that door.
Beyond the door is an old crypt, held up by 4 pillars spread out symmetrically across the room. A faded red carpet spans from the room's entrance all the way over to a coffin sitting at the very end. Beyond the coffin, the temple spans into a sizable subterranean opening hundreds of meters across. The lid of the coffin is sealed closed. $20 as the coffin opens and an even more giant skeleton comes out.
I'm sure we can take it.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
I'm going to go in first. Can you watch my back?
Bonnie's nose twitches as he catches the scent of brimstone. Something has burned the stone in this tomb.
That's odd. I smell something. Something burning.
I open the coffin. You slip your hands under the lid of the coffin, but it's too heavy for you to lift. I'll bring out my crowbar and pry the coffin lid open. The coffin opens and slides away, revealing an old preserved body within. It looks like it was in life, a regal old man holding a sparkling golden mace. You don't recognize the symbol on his armor. Do I recognize it? You recognize the emblem on his armor, and recall the old stories of Godwin the Great, an old dragon slayer from 1200 DR, over 2 centuries ago. Oh my, this is the resting place of the mighty dragon slayer Godwin! What a score! This must be a sacred mace!
Perfect! Let's grab it and go.
As your fingertips graze the mace, the tomb suddenly begins to tremble. You feel the impact of a giant creature's heavy footsteps reverberating around the tomb. Rocks begin to crumble from the ceiling, and the pillars begin to crack. The temperature in the room seems to increase. Oh no. From out behind the coffin, a giant winged red dragon rears its mighty head and roars, spewing fire all over the ceiling. It looks at the 5 of you and bares its fangs. Oh, gods! Eldritch Blast! The streak of Eldritch energy blasts a red scale off the massive dragon, causing it to turn and fix its piercing gaze on Mitch. It begins to inhale deeply.
Oh, hells. Everyone get behind something!
The party scrambles to duck behind a pillar as the dragon lets out a bellow, releasing a column of fire all over the room. The pillars halt the flames in their tracks, but your skin begins to burn slightly as the excess heat licks your arms and sides. Well, what's the plan here? I really want that mace.
Then, I guess we gotta take this thing down. How are we going to manage that?
Let's spread out. Don't give that thing a wide group to target. You stay with Bonnie and protect him in your aura. Mitch, do not be stingy about your spells. Unleash everything Ember has. This is do or die.
You mean, I get to use Ember fully? This'll be fun.
I'll slip back into the shadows and wait for an opening to strike.
It's now or never. Let's go.
The 5 of you slip out from behind the pillar and begin spreading out in separate directions, save for Bonnie and you, who strafe around the dragon, waiting for an opening to approach and strike. The dragon raises its mighty claws and brings them down hard on Mitch.
Ow! Owie! That really hurt.
but this is gonna hurt you even more. I cast Hellish Rebuke!
A column of fire engulfs the red dragon for a moment, but it seems unfazed. Fire, it seems, is of little consequence to this creature. The dragon then whips its tail around suddenly, knocking Bonnie to the side.
Ah!
Bonnie slowly rises up, rolling his shoulders and channeling his reserve energy.
This is nothing. This is nothing. My blade will sing true, and then I will paint a picture of this battle. Take this!
With a surge of stamina, Bonnie pushes past his physical limits, striking multiple times in the blink of an eye. The arm of the dragon turns into a cascade of sword slashes and broken scales. The dragon roars and swipes at Bonnie again, who ducks under the strike and leaps back.
Follow up!
You lunge at the dragon, your flail glowing with holy power. An utterance of a holy word, a flash of light, and your weapon connects with the dragon, blasting a part of its side into oblivion. Just then, the dragon turns to look at you, but Kaden appears on the dragon's head, dagger flashing. Surprise, you overgrown sausage! The surprise attack cuts deep. The dragon roars angrily and takes flight into the air. The tomb is barely large enough to support the large flying dragon, but it extends its claws and crashes a large hand against one of the supporting pillars. The pillar buckles and begins crumbling to the ground. Kennedy's just barely able to roll out of the way.
Oh, hells. This thing is smart.
Kaden is able to safely leap off the dragon's back and onto the ground, rolling to minimize the injury to himself. The dragon looks down at Kaden, its lungs bellowing once again. It's going to breathe fire.
Kaden, your battle is far from done. You're an expert in evasion and a dragon is nothing to you.
Kaden feels magically inspired by Kennedy's words.
Hey, dragon! I would insult you, but I doubt you'd understand me. I guess it's my own fault for never learning, dumbass.
You roasted him almost as much as he tried to roast us. Now it's Ember's turn. Ember!
Once again, the shape of the demon appears behind Mitch as he raises a burnt twig in the air.
Witch Bolts!
A streak of lightning connects with the dragon's enormous body, and a stream of electricity is formed between it and Mitch. Mitch backs up and ducks behind the fallen pillar. The dragon, still flapping in the air, inhales before sending a column of fire crashing down on Kaden. But as agile as a cat, Kaden leaps to the side and behind one of the still raised pillars.
This thing... I need to bring it down.
Bonnie drops the sword and swiftly brings out an old-fashioned longbow. Expertly notching 2 arrows in quick succession, he lets loose 2 shots that pierce the dragon's wing. It seems Bonnie has struck a nerve. The dragon buckles and lands back on the ground, turning its head to Bonnie, fangs glistening in the light caused by Kennedy's spell.
Anytime now.
You brandish your flail again and strike at the creature's head. Channeling your divine's power, your weapon sails forward with supernatural accuracy. It crashes against the dragon's face and shards of broken scales rain down on you. It roars and swings its tail around. You try to block the tail with your shield, but it's useless. The tail sends you flying across the tomb and crashing hard against the floor. You left yourself wide open. This one's from Blossom's handbook. Here, that wound looks bad. Let me heal you. Kennedy places a hand on your shoulder and utters a magical word. His hand glows, and the damage left by the dragon's attack gradually knits itself back together. The pain is nothing more than a dull thud. You can do this. You're our strongest warrior. We believe in you.
Witch Bolt again!
A crackle of lightning, a spark of power. The dragon staggers back, then raises a claw and slams it down on Mitch. Hard.
Mitch!
I'm okay. Ember's keeping me alive. But I'd really like this thing to go now.
We won't fall here. Not now. Come on, we've almost got it.
Bonnie quickly throws his bow aside and grabs his sword, striking the dragon in the back of the hind leg. It raises its wings and flaps them hard, sending a gust of wind all over the tomb. Bonnie and Kaden are launched off of their feet.
Damn it! It's going to take off again.
You quickly rise to your feet and lunge at the dragon, throwing your flail aside and channeling the last remainder of power you have left in your free hand. The dragon looks down at you as you point an open palm at it and cast the guiding bolt spell. A bolt of holy power streaks towards the dragon, striking it square in the chest. A flash of light covers its body, and its torso begins to burn in holy fire. The dragon roars loudly, shaking the tomb and rattling your skull. It begins to fall, crashing hard against the floor, cracking it with an impact. It slowly raises its head, then falls, and goes silent. Wait. Kaden slowly approaches the dragon and drives a quick knife thrust into its nape. Kill confirmed. Target down.
Oh, holy hells!
We did it! Nice job, everyone. Mitch, are you okay? That was close. I'm not okay. Not even a little. Can I have some help?
You place 2 hands on Mitch's small frame and channel the pool of positive energy set aside specifically for these circumstances. Mitch exhales softly as his wounds close.
Thank you. That feels nice. And look! We have the mace now! And a trophy to tell the story!
Yeah, good luck hauling that thing back. I'm content with just writing a story about this event and calling it a day. Agreed. I'm just taking a scale. It looks good.
We absolutely should head back home then. I'm getting ready for a long, long rest. For sure.
Then let's collect our reward and go get drunk.
Hey, do you think Kennedy could have tried to seduce the dragon?
I am not in the habit of sleeping with dragons.
Ember tells me that dragons are more desperate than we think, though.
I don't believe that for a second. It wouldn't be worth it anyway if we couldn't tell it what to do.
Do you guys remember if it had 2 large fangs or 4? I want to try painting it when we get back.
It had 2. By the way, did you pick your bow back up?
Oh, shoot, I didn't. Thanks.
The mighty Bonnie slung his bow and let loose 2 strikes of steel. His sword of flash he left a gash, and down the dragon would kneel. I'll work on it.
And while you're all doing that, I'm going to leave Ember an offering tonight. You should thank your patron, too, for letting you do all that crazy magic stuff. Hey, who can even use the mace anyway?